just very doing people. We saw a problem in the community and we just went out and started doing it straight away. And then from there it just turned into a business and we kind of ran with it. I think we're just taking the opportunity as it comes is how we've run the business so far. And the problem that we're addressing is just lived experience from us living here. So for us just to go out and do something without any funding or anything, it was just a personal thing between some friends. I think it's not hard to do. I think it's just about getting your reps in.
Yeah, just seconding that, I think we come from a strengths-based approach, so we like to act on what we see is necessary through our own lived experience. What can we do, what can we offer to the community? And instead of talking about it, as we're seeing around Australia, there's a lot of talk but not enough action.
And do you feel as though for First Nations people there's a lot of pressure to kind of take action, like compared to if you weren't Indigenous, there would be less? Or
I feel like it's more of our responsibility as well. You know, most of these problems are addressed to us, so it's up to us to fix it. You know, we can try and nag people for help all we want, you know, but if we want to actually achieve results and do good things for our community, it's about actually going up and just doing it yourself sometimes.
Yeah, I think we're always thrown with the statistics of, you know, the at-risk populations, Aboriginals at risk here and there and there. And it's like, well, alright, well, we've seen the statistics, we know what the problem is, what are we doing as a nation to address it? And it starts on the grassroots levels in the community.
how did you come up with the idea?
Well, it was just, like I said before, it's just a thing between some mates. We had some of the boys that was going through some mental health issues, even some physical health issues because they weren't looking after themselves. So Jahdai and I just got some pads from the gym and went to the local park, you know, and said, come down to the park, you know, boys, and hit some pads and do some exercise and go home. And then they really enjoyed it, you know, and they've said it was good for them and they just needed to get out of the house and do something. So we got the opportunity to turn it into a business. And now we've stretched out so far with national contracts and online programs and schools. It's quite amazing to what we've turned it out to.
Yeah, and I think it's also a collection of both of our experiences in the workforce and also our own personal lives as well. And I think the idea was inspired through the support system that young people have out of school. Sadly, there's a lot of at-risk young people that sort of go unsupported, and sometimes they just need a bit of extra help. Things like, you know, what is access to healthcare systems, how to write a resume sometimes, how to do your taxes, how to explain taxes. You know, those things aren't really taught to you within those educational settings, and if you could have a one-stop hub in the community that was free and accessible, imagine the outcomes you could have by being connected with all of these services and all of these skills in one place in the community. So that was sort of the utopia of what we wanted to see. But as Dante said, it started by just coming together, being connected with people who want to work on trying to be a better version of themselves.
And I guess, do you feel supported, firstly by your own communities, and then secondly by the broader Australian and Northern Territory communities?
I feel like most of our support so far has been within our community, within the Darwin and NT region, just because of that we grew up here, we know a lot of people here, and our connection to who we are and to family. But in part of Australia, after we did the Trailblazer thing down south, we actually did have a lot of good feedback and a lot of people asking questions because they just don't know what life is like up here. And then after hearing some of the statistics as well about suicide and crime, I think, you know, it was an eye-opener to a lot of them. So I think what we're doing, you know, spreading that message as well to people that don't live in rural and regional Australia, to see what life is actually like in these smaller country towns, or even towns with a lot of large Indigenous populations actually like.
And do you want to add anything?
I think you said that beautifully. I don't think there's much I would add to that as well.
Cool. I guess, what's your relationship to the concept of reconciliation, if you are interested in sharing?
My concept into reconciliation, I just want everyone to be equal. I am a black person from my mother's side, I'm a proud Tiwi man, but also from my father's side, he's an immigrant from East Timor and a Portuguese man as well. So I got to see both sides of the fences growing up, and, you know, in conclusion, me growing up as a man, I just want to see everyone treated equally. You know, there's been a lot of things getting thrown backwards and forwards towards immigrants and towards First Nations people, and I think we're all people at the end of the day, and we should be treated like that.
Yeah, exactly what Dante said. I think us both having Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal parents, you're walking between two worlds, so you can really see the perspectives of what it's like growing up, living between two worlds as well. But as he said, it's just about coming together. How can we make this fair and significant for everyone, you know? And I think sometimes it can have the opposite effect, you know, when you're giving us all these Black Days, Black History Month, Black this and that. It's like, well, as you said, it's about people, you know, and how can we come together as people and make the world a better place?
I guess, what do you want people who are, you know, not in Darwin and not necessarily in the NT to know about this area and know about the young First Nations people here?
Definitely not. I think we want to stop seeing them being ostracised and being representative in a negative way. I think the narrative of young people here in the NT is that they're, you know, crime and at risk, and the statistics do show that. But again, from what we've seen in the session that we just did, you know, let's represent the more positive stories of what young people are doing here in the community, and don't undermine that too. And it shows the resilience and the want to create change as well.
Did you want to add anything to that, Dante?
Yeah, okay. A couple of my mates down south, and even when I represented Australia on the Australian team, I was the only Indigenous person and the only Northern Territory person both times. And you know, the way they talk about the NT, it's like it's some kind of myth, you know, some kind of fairy tale. Oh yeah, that's the place with a lot of crime, or with the big crocs, or the place that they drove their four-wheel drive through the pub, and you know, they see NT and Darwin all up on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, but not for the right reasons as well, you know. So that was a very big eye-opener, talking to a lot of the people from Australia, or around Australia, that's never been to the NT, of how they see it and how they view it. It's like because everything they're saying is almost, you know, it's incorrect almost. It's a very small percentage of the things that's actually happening here. So
yeah, and I guess you guys are not only pretty young yourselves, but also work with a lot of, you know, young people in like high school kind of age, right? Yeah, so I don't know, how do you want people to, you know, think about those kids, and like, how would you describe them?
Well, I think there's a lot of talent here in the NT, you know, and sometimes, you know, talent just needs a bit more support, you know, to get you to the places and the opportunities that you want to get to as well. So, you know, very vibrant community, very passionate community as well, and very talented as well.
Anything else to add, Dante?
that's good. Isn't that beautiful?
Great. Well, is there anything else that you want to add